Calling the meeting, June 10th meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order. Would someone like to read? We do have to read this, right, for the hybrid meeting.
Want me to do it this
Who's in the
time?
mood for reading?
Monday, June 10th, 2024, 5:30 PM at the Ayer Town Hall. This will be a hybrid meeting. The meeting or hearing of the Board of Health will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend in person. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID number 880-9915-1478 or by calling 301-715-8592. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Samantha Benoit, Administrative Coordinator, at sbenoit@ayer.mass.us or call via 978-772-8220, extension 145, prior to the meeting.
Thank you very much. Can we do that as a recording? We should just record
I know,
you saying
right?
that. Press
Could
it.
have put it on my phone, notes and just press it.
Yep.
All right, we are here. Our public apparently is not. Do we have any, any remote participants? Okay. I'm going to make that a no for public input. Then, old business, wanted to give an update on the harm reduction van. We had some fast and furious activity last week, so I'm going to let our Board of Health representative, Ms. Peters, update us on.
I did not.
I think we all saw the emails
Yeah.
flying back and forth.
I did not make it to the last Zoom meeting, which that's what floored me about this, because everything was going along swimmingly, so I thought, and then an abrupt email from the director of the CH.
I know, I always forget their initials.
Anyways, without any reason or no reference of anything, just felt it was not a good time to do this, not a good time to staff it. So there is a meeting, and I left a message for Jenna today. She sent that email to us to let us know there is a meeting on June 24th, but didn't put down the time.
Okay.
I'd like to know what time so we could Zoom and at least get some kind of idea
exactly.
why.
I think that's our next meeting too, so I wonder if it might be like right after hours.
I don't know. When Jenna comes back, I'm going to ask her. I, for some reason, thought it would be during the day when we could Zoom in.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It could be. It could be during the day too, yeah.
So that's the next step as far as that goes. It's really frustrating because we've been working on this. A lot of people have been working on this for like a year. And
it was at the point of getting the MOU together to be signed.
Yeah.
So it was really...
and everyone was really supportive, the police department, the fire. I don't know, it kind of came out of the blue. So stay tuned. That's all I can say. And we'll find out when it is.
You know anything, Bridget, about...
I have
update, heard anything through the grapevine?
nothing.
Okay.
Just as shocked as you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we'll see hopefully we can find a provider that will want to stick with this, so.
So I do have one question, though. Is this program a Board of Health initiative, or is it a Town of Ayer initiative? If it's the Board of Health, then the Board of Health should be driving this, and I think at the end of this, it got away from the Board of Health, if it's the Board of Health. It seemed like there was a lot of people participating in a lot of different directions. But if this is the Board of Health initiative, then it should be driven by the Board of Health, not, it just everyone else is
Yeah,
communicating.
yeah, I know what you're saying.
I didn't find
Yeah.
out about most of it until it was already done.
Yeah, initially it presented to us as a board, if I'm
Well, they needed.
correct.
They needed the Board of Health okay in order to do it. That was part of the agreement, and it was some grant funding and whatever, as I recall. So in order to qualify for that, and in order to be able to go forward under that program, you had to have Board of Health approval. So, yeah, we were the
Were we signing the
first-
contract? Was it?
No,
No?
because it binds the town.
So it's not a Board of Health initiative, there's just Board of Health participation.
Right, exactly. I would say it actually it couldn't be a Board of Health initiative other than to recommend, because
Right.
we can't sign the town up for anything, and that's where it gets into the legal.
And the
So I don't
MOU
know if
that-
there was something in the MOU that kicked this off, if it was like kind of a legal thing.
But the MOU that we saw online,
Yep.
that was sent to how many different departments?
I think
This
as far,
director?
I think as far as all of us that were involved in one way or another on the, team or the larger team that was putting it together, we all saw it. What I don't know is whether for that provider agency, if because how did they refer to it in the email? She said it was like our director.
Yeah.
So it was like a.
The CEO
The
decided.
CEO, that was it. The CEO decided. So I kind of got to wonder if something fell apart there, and did the CEO was there something that he or she was not aware of until that 11th hour?
I just think it's odd that if, as you say, there was something there, either in the MOU or
Yeah.
staffing, or ask the question before you pull the plug on the whole project.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I don't get about it.
Yep.
And are there other providers out there? I don't know. There seem to be so few that have that kind of staff.
Yeah, and that's what makes this particular one kind of so disappointing, because it seems like they did some reaching out to us too,
Yeah.
with you'd be a good fit with the other, towns that
Yeah.
we serve and the kinds of services that we have. So we didn't find them in the yellow pages.
They came to us.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Jenna has a plan B or some maybe backup connections. I also think that this is one of those kind of fluid, like availability. Maybe somebody's contract is ending now and there'll be somebody available that wasn't available when we were looking the last time.
Then say that. That's how I feel. It's like,
Yeah.
it was just so cut and dry, and we're not doing it now.
No, I
End of
mean,
discussion.
if that organization is
Yeah.
out, I mean, you can't
Can't.
make them do anything they don't want to do.
Right.
I'm wondering I think it's kind of a fluid situation. Sometimes there are providers available, but then when they sign up enough contracts, then they're kind of off the market for a while. So I think a lot of it kind of has to do with the timing of like when you're looking and what you need, so.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep trying to follow up with
Yeah.
Jenna and.
Oh, well, we've got a date. We just need the time.
Yeah,
So we can
yeah.
figure out to join in on that. And I'm sure that she'll share it with that whole team again.
Yeah, and it's not a blame thing. It's more of I'd like to know what went wrong so that we don't make that mistake again.
Or is it easily corrected?
Is it easily corrected? Exactly. That's another thing. I would hope that if it was, somebody would have addressed it in that way, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, to be
Yeah.
continued. I certainly don't consider the subject dead. I think we've got a setback that we're not going to be starting July 1st because we don't have a provider, but
Right.
the rest of the framework stays in place, and, now we have an MOU that's been vetted at least, on the
Yeah.
town side. We know we have a site that the whole town is happy with, so, I guess there was some net movement forward. But disappointing,
Yes.
nonetheless. Okay, anything else on harm reduction plan? Are you okay for the, for that meeting on the 24th?
On the 24th?
If not, just let me know.
No,
Yeah.
right now it looks okay. That's why I'm hoping it's a Zoom during the day that
Yeah.
is available to a lot of people. And,
Yeah, it probably
yeah,
will be the more I
hours.
think about it.
Yeah,
Because
I
they
think
have been
so.
doing days. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's old business. For discussion, the only thing I've got on here that is kind of a carryover, other than the things we were in the middle of with permits and whatnot, is the bit with regulations. So I have indeed pulled out my list of regulations again. And so now both Sam and I have looked at the old Air Board of Health Aquifer Protection Regulation and the current zoning bylaw. And they are a really, really, really close match. So what I think makes sense for us to do is to not keep in place our regulation that says the exact same thing. But what I started looking at was, in the bylaw, it says, when they're talking about special permitting, and there's this thing of, so planning board may grant a special permit only if it determines in conjunction with the Board of Health, Conservation, Department of Public Works. So I thought rather than get rid of that regulation completely, because I don't know what else might fall under that regulation at some point in the future. So I kind of hate to just get rid of it so that we don't have one. How do you guys feel about maybe doing a really very simple one that just says that we will support the special permit granting authority, in reviewing applications for special permits and then reference back to the zoning bylaw for now? Because then we still have something on the record. The other thing I started kind of looking at, and I didn't get far enough down the road with that yet, was I looked at some other towns in Mass that have aquifer bylaws, not bylaws, but Board of Health regulations, just to kind of see, well, what's in theirs? Because all Massachusetts towns must have hit that same snag that we did, where no, you can't be that special permit granting authority. So I just have a couple on my computer that I was going to take a look at and see, is there anything in there that is different that might apply to us? But that's kind of what I'm thinking for a way to resolve our mismatch.
Can I get a copy of that? I'd like to read that as well.
Sure. This is the bylaw. This I just printed out. So that's do you want it, because I downloaded it. Do you want an e-copy or do you want it printed?
If you can send me a copy.
Sure, yeah. I have,
I can send you both in the morning.
Okay.
yeah, I just printed those pages out of that 8.1 section, yeah, because it goes through and then all these use regulations, you'll see like they match up to our reg, almost exactly.
Yeah.
And then it goes just in through a little thing about special permitting, and then a little bit about design guidelines and performance standards that I'm not sure if all of that stuff was in our old regulation. I think that might be, I think they have continued to enhance this regulation. And it also now ties in the stormwater management performance standards too.
So who did that?
That would be the planning board. And all that.
Because this is the bylaw, so this is all air bylaw stuff, and within this section, 8.1 for the aquifer protection overlay, they're called out as the special permit granting authority. So
I'd
they
just
have
like to be able to
review any of this.
just
Yeah,
read it.
sure, I'll send you that.
So it would just be,
You want to? I can send it to you.
Yeah, but it would
Or
just,
you're gonna
I can
send it,
do
right?
it.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, cool.
It would just be inserting you know,
Yeah, like I'll just
Keep the
write
whole
up
thing.
some like little
like a
statement
little
about that.
amendment
That,
to
yeah,
refer back to that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It sounds.
Unless there's something, dramatically different or better looking that I find somewhere else, but I kind of don't think so.
No,
I
that
think
sounds-
it's
And,
more of a-
and as it is, most of the, like, aquifer stuff for the special permits are in conjunction with, like, site plan reviews.
Yeah,
So then
exactly. Yeah.
they do get reviewed by other departments.
Yeah, Bridget still sees those for the sign off and the.
Oh, that's a
yeah.
zoning board one, but she does have those.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
That's what she
I
does.
made a mistake, so
It's okay. I type them up, they never see the original.
So I think it's working. I think the process of the
Yeah.
review is working. It's
And
more
I-
just getting the words out of our reg that,
And I know they're working on the stormwater regs too. To
Yeah.
make them
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
and who does that, because now they've looped in conservation,
yep,
because,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll do a draft for the next meeting, and I'll send it to you guys. This used to drive Mary up a wall. Are you okay with track changes, if I do it in track changes? If I do it as a Word document with the
Lines?
change? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So it just lines, okay.
And-
Just drive her crazy.
I'm gonna I did start to talk to Danny before I went on vacation for a little bit last week. So I started to talk to Danny, the town planner, about this, because
Okay,
he
great.
handles this, but we
Yeah,
haven't been very
yeah.
far. So I'll just double check with him if there's anything because really when I went through it, the biggest difference I found is that the Board of Health had a list of definitions in the zoning bylaw does not.
Yes, and if I remember correctly, it's like, isn't it moved to, there's a whole section?
There's a
of
whole
the-
section of definitions, but they're not.
But
These
they
ones are
don't.
not in there.
What's the date on
okay.
both of those?
So this,
How long ago was that, Pam?
2019. These
Oh,
are the ones that were
okay.
amended in 2019.
Okay,
so the
yeah.
bylaw was in 2019. The Board of Health officially did it in 2000.
Okay.
Originally, yeah.
Originally, there have been some
And then I think. we-
minor updates, but it
Yeah, we
wasn't.
like reaffirmed it or
Yeah, but
whatever.
nothing was.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
That's a really good point, because if there is something,
That they want to keep.
yeah, or that we should be aware of, something that they're maybe tied into that,
Or if it's something, because it does say in conjunction with the Board of Health, maybe there's something between Danny and I that we need to put in place to make sure you
Yeah.
guys do see more
yeah,
or
what would make
something.
these two work?
What makes it work together better.
basically. Yeah, yeah, perfect.
But
Awesome, love it. So I'll do the red line for the getting rid of this stuff, and I'll just do a little, kind of what I think we should replace it with.
And
But
I'll-
if you find anything out that, like, would be a good one to add, let me know.
and I will send copies to you guys in the morning.
Thank you.
so.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so that's aquifer. And then, since I have you, Bridget,
Yep.
did you look at, did we do floor, these, I feel like these floor drains are stalking me. You probably do too.
Well, so with that,
Did we decide we don't need to
I think we
make
do
any
need them.
changes?
And I think,
We need to keep them,
yeah.
okay.
And I don't think there are many changes really needed. But if something goes in with a septic, especially, we just want to make sure that we have those regulations in place.
Okay, all right. So it's just then gonna be looking at them to,
And the last time I think we used them was like All Town maybe, when they went in.
oh, okay, all right. I saw some, just as I was glancing through some of the other town aquifer things, I did see some of them that prohibit floor drains. I think I'm not sure if it's both aquifer districts or just one, but I think that's like the only time I've seen floor drains come up and,
So if the regs are good, we can just reaffirm them.
yeah.
I'll just look at them again just before we reaffirm them to make sure.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. And since I'm searching other town Board of Health things for aquifer, it's easy enough while I'm on there to see if there's a floor drains regulation, I'll grab it and send it over. Send you a copy, okay, Bridget?
Yes.
Okay. All right, what's going on from Shoba?
So stressed out.
Give us all the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So we have a couple of housing issues that I'm gonna have to follow up on.
Okay.
One's at the Pleasant Street School, it was a leak. I think the work has been done. I got a letter from Ken Martin. I just need to follow up with the tenant on that. And then there was another one that I did at the Pleasant, on Pearl Street.
Okay.
And I have to follow up with that, the 30 days.
Which one, Pearl Street?
There were some issues with screens, mice. The front door has to have an electronic striker. So if you have so many apartments, you have to have a certain door with a striker.
Oh,
So-
okay. It's a multi, it's not a single.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think maybe 5 family.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay. Okay, but you did the inspection and.
Yeah, we're at the
now you're
30-day
trying to do
mark.
Yeah. okay. If we need to invite anyone to come visit us, just let me know.
That might
I'd be
be
more than happy to do
happening,
that.
There has been an uptick of rats again in different parts of town.
Is it in some of the places same as before?
Yes,
Have you gone on the Lawton Street and looked
I've
at the properties?
been on Lawton Street, I've been on Washington Street.
The house that, there's a specific property on Lawton Street that looks to be abandoned. Is it abandoned or is that occupied?
I don't know, there's a house there there's a couple,
It's on the right-hand side. I don't want to give the number out.
yeah, I don't know.
There's like a piece of the roof coming down and there's windows missing in the front of it.
I can check on that. There's a couple of different properties that have chickens in that area.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot going on. So I did drive around
That's the number.
Yeah.
and checked dumpsters, stuff like that. I didn't physically see any rats. So, and then up by Taft Street, I think, but a different area. And again, there's chickens over there. So I have to follow up with Julie on that. So a lot of times it's the chicken
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
chicken and bird feed. So, so
Okay.
I have to touch base with her today,
Okay.
or I'm sorry, tomorrow. But I did go by both areas and didn't see any. So,
Okay.
Is this the time of year? Not really?
So they usually will move closer to houses in the winter, looking for food. There's more out there, so they'll kind of, I think, move around in
Yeah.
the summer. But things that we look for, and it's happening everywhere, just like it's,
Comments I heard regarding Lawton Street that they're coming in and out of that property
okay. So I'll check.
actively.
And it might be not lived in or not.
It's hard to say, you know.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll
gotcha.
follow up on that tomorrow, and I'll touch base with Charlie too. But it's tough because we do look at things like dumpsters, stuff like that. But I guess they're up in trees and things.
There didn't appear to be trash on the property there, but
Yeah.
there's definitely issues with the building.
Okay. So I'll take a look at that.
Okay.
But again, I did look at the dumpsters in the area because sometimes you have some that are overflowing and
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, that's good anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably bird feeding, chickens,
Yeah.
maybe.
Must be.
The house possibly might not be helping
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
So.
Did you have a chance to stop at Old Town?
So I've been going there and looking, right before I got here. I tried to see if I sent them an email before or a letter. And I couldn't find an email, so do you remember if we sent the letter to Alltown regarding idling trucks?
I don't
Regarding what
recall.
trucks?
I'd have to check
Idling.
the file.
Idling.
Idling.
We had a
Yeah, yeah,
flight
yeah.
at 6 o'clock in the morning. At 4:30, it was like a truck depot it was all kinds of trucks just sitting there idling, and I'm sure that they come off the highway and they stay there.
Yeah.
In the
You know,
back?
In the back and on
Yeah.
the side.
Is it zoned for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
though? I know they
You
can.
can't idle for more than
overnight.
15 minutes. It doesn't make any difference. 15 minutes is the maximum.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they were,
Aren't there signs? Are there? I
there
seem
are.
to think I've seen signs.
I asked the guy at the register, I said, and he said, well, they just pull in and stop. Well, it's your responsibility to make sure that they turn the engine off. It's not.
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I asked Bridget if she'd go in and talk to him.
So I went by to kind of just gauge to see if there's anything happening during the day too, and early in the morning. So, before I reach back out to them, I just wanted to go over and see.
Yeah.
And some of them left fairly quickly and some of them were there for,
I'm not usually up at 4:30 in the morning, or
Yeah,
I don't go there
yeah.
at midnight, but if this is if it's turning into a truck stop,
Well,
Yeah.
that's what
That's
I
not-
just said.
that's not the
It-
intent. you know.
It's
Yeah.
not zoned for that, right? You can't,
I don't know, Trish. But even if it's not a zoning issue, it's.
no, I know, but I'm saying if
I don't know.
people, if they think they can do that, they just
It's up to
stay
the
there
owner.
all night.
It's up to the owners to enforce it.
It is.
yeah, and it's like, it's part of the air pollution regulations,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But before the people next door start complaining, which they will, and I would too. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one has. Is that, so that would be, who actually backs up to that? Is it-
Cemetery backs up to
And
it, but then you've
Markham
got
Circle.
Markham
One side,
Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on, what, is it Markham
Condos,
Circle?
the
or-
condos and
Yeah,
Markham
Markham
Circle
Circle.
Markham
would be
Circle,
up
okay.
behind.
Okay.
But I'm sure that the noise probably goes all up to Devon's Crest. You could hear it.
Yeah.
up there too.
Yeah, I bet it does. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, if we need to
It's right
issue
here,
an
Michael.
invitation to them, I'd be happy to. No problem. Anything else going on at Neshoba? I was gonna bring this up under administrative, but when Jim Greffy came to talk to us last time, he mentioned that at the June meeting, they have to change their bylaws, the Neshoba bylaws. So he wanted to make sure, he gave me, I have a red line of it, and it doesn't look like there's a lot, it's mostly to, like, take out the Neshoba nursing service stuff, but they definitely need to have a quorum at that meeting so that they can do this vote. Any takers?
When is that one?
This is gonna be on, let me see, where's the email? Yes. It's gonna be in person and virtual. Okay, June 27th at 7 PM.
I'm away.
Okay. Any burning desire to?
These meetings,
I know they kind of put you over the edge.
Yeah.
Why don't I do that one?
Steve's baptism by fire going into that.
I didn't want to snatch a great opportunity for away from you, Steve.
I'm sure they would rather have you there.
Oh God! All right, I will do that.
But I'm going to nominate you for chairman,
Oh no! No.
as there are vacancies on committees,
I see that.
Oh, gosh.
and it might be good to rotate that chairmanship.
I'm sure it would, as long as I'm not in the rotation. I think as a matter of principle, that's a really good idea.
Excellent at that. It's like,
Oh my,
it's like term limits. Do you believe term limits are good? So, I mean,
well, I believe your vote is term limits. You should be voting these people out if you don't like them.
how do we actually vote, or is that you get to vote on that, right?
It's
Yeah.
like every
It's,
board
yeah.
gets a,
One vote.
gets a vote, what's the deal, right? When, yeah.
Is that an evening meet? That's at 7:30 at night?
Yeah,
I
or
would-
at 7. Oh, actually, it's not a big problem. I think
Okay.
that's a Thursday.
The 27th, I think it is, because we're
Yeah,
I can do that.
we're gonna be gone the 27th and 8th.
Good for you. All right, I will do that one. Anything else exciting with Michelle? Do you recommend the bylaw changes? Yeah? We're on it.
I have to say that, Ron.
We're on
Of course you do.
it. Yeah.
No, it's just, honestly, it's just been a very busy summer so far with
Yeah,
food trucks and temporary
Oh, yeah.
food events and
exactly.
all sorts of, like,
And it's barely June.
so it's just,
Yeah, I get it. Okay, how about, since we're sort of morphing into call log, and I have a Neshoba question. Actually, I have two questions for Neshoba. One of them has to do with call log. So, the 24C Harvard Road mold in home? Does that go to you?
I did send it to Bridget, and I did tell the woman to contact you. She's called before. She's the one who said the landlord had the company come in and say there isn't mold, but there is mold, and I think she's shown up on the call log a few times.
Okay. What, can,
I don't know if,
just send forward whatever.
Yeah, I'll send it again.
To Bridget in case.
is that in here?
It's just on the call log.
It's on the call log.
So I was just wondering, because I didn't,
Sometimes,
I
She called
noticed
like
you didn't mention
she
it, so I
called,
wasn't
like,
sure.
Originally, like a year ago, and then a few months after that, and she calls like once every 3
Calls
months about this
periodically.
mold. I know I've sent her to you before, and like when I had mentioned,
okay, there's been a couple people that, I talked to, and, just explain what we do. We don't really test for mold. We look, we see, if we see it, we can cite it.
Okay.
We tend to cite what is causing the mold. And this
okay.
might have been one where they would, they just say, well, let me think about it and I'll call you back for an inspection. So if I haven't done the inspection,
yeah,
then
and I
that might
remember
have been,
because originally when she called this time, I said, well, you should contact Bridget. This is the best, Oh, I've talked to Bridget before. I'm like, yeah, I feel like you have. But so
So like if it's a mold, if someone says there's a mold smell, but there's no
if we can't.
mold you can see,
and she
yeah.
she did claim that the landlord had a company and do testing, and the company said there was no mold. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think there's been a couple that I talked to and they were gonna talk,
Okay. So we don't have
Yeah.
some major outstanding ongoing mold thing, okay. And then there's the rats on Latin Street.
and I did
we already
try. They left a message for me, and I wasn't in the office. I did try and call them back. I left a message. I haven't heard back. I don't know if they got in contact with you.
I talked to someone.
Okay, so
Yep.
Okay.
she didn't call me back.
All right, anybody else got anything about call? I think that's the only,
Those were
yeah,
really
that's the only two.
Those were
new
yeah.
ones.
Those are the only two new ones. I mean, I had a couple. Like someone called and like, I'm waiting for my chicken permit. I said they have to sign it. So you can get it later.
Yeah, right. Good. People are paying attention. All right, minutes. Any thoughts about minutes? I actually thought they looked fine.
We approve the minutes as presented.
Anybody got a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Okay, I'm signing. There those go.
Thank you.
And you got permits.
I have so many.
More chickens?
Actually, of our returning list, only 2 have not applied.
Really?
One has not answered at all. One did pay. They just didn't fill out the form yet.
Oh, okay.
They do know. I don't know. But
Is it the same too?
those 2 I did not include in this list because we've been sending them
Yep.
other things.
Okay.
I feel like this isn't going to help.
Yeah.
So, in terms of chicken permits, I have one for 44 Pine Ridge. He has 7 chickens.
Just 7?
7 Union Street has 6. 7 Doug Road has 4. 47 Highland has 30.
Wow.
9 Lawton has 12.
Wow.
18 Wright Road has 9.
Which one has 30?
47 Highland.
30 chickens.
The record is 40.
Wow.
9. 7 Harvard has 40.
Wow. No kidding.
9 Mountain Laurel has 3 ducks.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God, that's great.
5 Groton Shirley has 2 chickens. 33 Groton Shirley has 12. And 9 Victor Drive has 18. So there's
Well,
only 2
well.
left.
Do I hear a motion to issue all of the permits read by our
I will make a motion that,
assistant?
yes, to give permits to all of the above so-named people that are administrative assistants.
So numbered,
Yes.
number of
Just mentioned.
Love it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You gotta
Yes, I'm
just
gonna
get a
sign it.
stamp.
Yeah.
You need a stamp.
I won't make everybody sit around while I do this. I'll just do them at the end.
Yeah, so I will send the list
Yeah.
to Julie this week so she knows
Okay,
who's
perfect.
licensed and who's not. If you would like the list as well, Bridget, I can send that to you.
If you don't mind, just so I can keep track if we get any more rat complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anything for bills or mail?
I have mail. I don't have bills.
Whoa.
I don't have a lot of mail. I did get our end of year money, so the Board of Health still has $6,370 left in their account for the year. We're gonna have the same amount next year. We just keep level funding it, so.
We can rent a party bus.
But yeah, any classes or anything you guys take, we can reimburse really easily. I don't end up buying a lot of supplies for the office, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll probably buy some ink before the fiscal year's out, but that's about it.
Okay. Well, we have been frugal.
And then in terms of mail, I know Bridget sent this to you as well. This is
Yep.
the laboratory report for the beach, right?
Yeah. And that was my other, I said I had 2 Bridget questions, so I figured that one would come up somewhere down here.
Yeah.
Does that get done? Because I happened to open that up in my email like a day or 2 after I read something in the paper about some local, like beaches, ponds having,
Don't you dare say it.
I'm not going to say it. So how, does that test get done periodically?
Are you talking about the thing that we had last year?
Yeah.
So that's just the beach sample.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
specific to the beach. So we do
Okay.
that every week.
Okay,
Usually
that's done
every-
weekly all
yes,
of
every
the season.
Yep. So
But
we-
that doesn't include anything for the,
So that is so the beach is monitored
okay.
when we take the sample.
So it would be a visual.
Yes.
Thing.
Of the-
Okay, gotcha.
Anything other than the beach, again, that's,
Yeah, okay.
we still follow up on it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
okay.
really, we look at the beach for that. So when we take the samples, we look at, everything out there.
Okay.
The water's clear
Gotcha.
Is it?
Yeah.
so far this year.
Don't you say it?
Yeah, I don't.
It was late in the year last year.
It was,
You need
yeah.
that hot.
Yeah, I think it needs to get
Pond was
hot and kind of
stagnant. I
stagnant.
mean, the water had
Yeah.
gone down, the water level's high.
Yeah. Okay.
And then in terms of other mail, I have two things from Central Mass Mosquito Control. Personnel will be out in our community to answer questions about mosquitoes throughout the month of June. It looks like the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th.
Okay.
And then they're probably will send out the spray schedule shortly
Yeah.
with this. And they also sent a letter, I got it this morning. It looks like sort of a general call to help for all boards of health, which is they are looking to locate and treat abandoned swimming pools in your community. So if we know of any abandoned swimming pools, or keep an eye out for.
Mm-hmm.
I might have one.
Yeah, I can
No,
think
there's
of.
secret swimming pools.
Oh my God.
So sort of the big stagnant water.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, exactly.
Mosquitoes love that. So treatment of the pools is no cost to the city or town or the resident, and the pool can later be opened if residents so desires. And we ask if
Okay.
there's an abandoned or foreclosed property or potential neighborly dispute to inform our office,
Okay.
granting us authority from your office to treat the pool.
Okay. So they'll treat it.
They'll treat it,
At no
but
cost,
if
but
we know of any, we should let them know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. And that's all I have.
That's all you got? That'll do, I guess. So we will gather here again on the 24th of June in 2 weeks. So unless something comes up on one of these other issues that we've got going on with rats and idling and housing, assorted things. But I think it's going to be kind of the same, maybe just looking at regs again. If there's nothing that we have to do emergently, how do you guys feel about only doing one meeting?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Same with
And then-
July.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
maybe June, July, August, we could just do, so what's our,
We've done that before.
yeah, we have,
So the July meetings would be the 8th and the 22nd.
okay, so we would have the one on the 8th.
I won't be here.
So that would put us to when is the next
Second.
one? The 22nd. What's your travel schedule look like? Are you,
And nothing right now. I can be here the 8th. I can be here,
okay.
I believe. We may have one of our kids coming, but other than that,
If we tried to do one on the off week, like the 15th, just to kind of split the difference, is that?
We might be able to do that. No one else has meetings on Mondays, so
Yeah. Okay.
I would have to confirm, but
Okay.
July 15th,
Yeah.
possibly. We should be back by
Would
then.
like be the one July meeting then?
Okay.
How do you guys feel about that?
sounds good to me.
Sounds
good. Okay.
And then August 12th or 19th?
Yeah.
August 12th.
So the next meeting is going to be, we said,
I might not be here because we're leaving the 5th on both July and August, and we go for 10 days.
okay. August though also doesn't have Monday holidays, so.
8/19.
Sure.
Yeah, if we shoot for that middle one again. 19, okay.
I'm not 100% sure I will be around for that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have to move my son into school,
Oh, yeah.
It's that time of year.
That's right.
but August is far enough away. we can-
Okay.
And talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, and if we need to do like a different day of the week to kind
Yeah.
of accommodate everybody, we can do that too. But you'll be back by then and.
Yeah, the 18th, the 19th of August I should be back. The 15th of July, we should be back.
Sounds
So,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not, then, you know, the next one is the 22nd, so it's not that big.
And worst comes to worst, if how it works, I can get someone to at least cover for the minutes.
Okay, cool.
And I just give them the paperwork.
Yeah, that's the big thing that I don't want to do. I hate it.
The date for move-in isn't, it should be pinned down, but, you know, who knows?
All right, so I think we have a plan. You're going to the PFAS,
The 13th, right?
yeah.
That's this.
Yeah, meeting, and to everyone watching at home, don't eat the fish because it's got too much PFAS in it. But I've seen that advisory in like a dozen places, so I think we're pretty well blanketing the town with that.
Yeah, don't,
Scares me to think about how much of it I and you have eaten over the course of our lives.
I haven't eaten any fish from here, but just
Oh, really?
the exposure piece was.
Oh, God, my
I have to
grandfather
find
and
my-
his horn pout out of Grove Pond.
Oh, no, that wouldn't be me at all. No. No. I have to find my records from the PFAS.
Yeah,
the
because
lab
they're going
work,
to do how
because they're
to
gonna,
interpret
but they have it
everything, right?
anyways, if I can find it, but I never did anything with it and held on to it because I knew
Yeah.
at some point we'd be doing this.
Yeah, it'll be
But
interesting to see how you...
Yeah, I couldn't read it because it's all
Yeah.
decimals and I'm like, I don't know how to read any of
Yeah,
this
see
stuff.
what they have to tell you about
Yeah,
it. So,
yeah, it'd be
okay.
interesting.
But that's next Thursday.
Yeah.
It's not this week.
July 13th.
Okay.
I mean, June 13th.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, that
that's-
is this
that's
week.
this
Okay.
week.
That's this week, yeah.
All right, gotcha.
Okay.
Anyone in the mood for a motion?
I'll make a motion. We adjourn Monday, June 10th, Board of Health meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed.
You want to keep going?
16.
16.
Call it 6:18. We are adjourned.
It's pretty good.
Precise.